Well, habari zenu. My name is Emmanuel Kismei. I work with Maasai Mara Wildlife Conservancies Association. And we're coming to you live from base camp Maasai Mara. It's a beautiful evening here, and thank you so much for joining us today. For our Swahili listeners, karibuni sana. And for the Maa speaking people, enter super oleng. Today's event is about community conservancies and how they benefit Kenyans. We will also talk about how we can all take action to care for Kenya's environment, wildlife, and communities. Our conversation is called Sauti za leo. This is because we believe that the youth are not the voice of tomorrow, but the voices of today. We will meet two young people who are very passionate about conservation, and they will share with us their experiences in conservation matters. So, karibuni sana Tumiso and Gertrude.
Hi.
Sure, go ahead, Tumiso.
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
My name is Tumiso Mathenge. I'm 14 years old and I live in Nairobi. And yeah, I do wildlife conservation and I'm here to learn more.
Karibu sana. Over to you, Gertrude.
Thank you, Emmanuel. Hi, I'm Gertrude. I'm 24. I studied in Machakos University and took environmental science, natural resource conservation. I'm now an intern at MMWCA, Maasai Mara Wildlife Conservancies, and I'm here to share my experiences and learn more.
Karibuni sana once again. I did journalism, worked in radio for 9 years, but always knew that I'll come back to the Mara and do the conservation work. And I'm so happy that you guys have joined us today. And to everyone else who is listening to us or watching us live, you can also take part in this conversation on what we can do to all care for Kenya. So karibu sana Tumiso and Gertrude. And just before we get started our conversation, we could play a little game on quiz just to find out how much you know about conservation and wildlife. And also for those who are following us online, those who are watching and listening, you can also take part in answering some of the questions. And I will ask you if it's true or false, then you will say true or false. Of course, for those who are watching, you can also send your answers and you'll be able to reach them as we go on. So mko tayari?
Tayari kabisa.
All right, Tumiso, you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Okay, let's do this. Well, you'll just say true or false. So rhinos can only be found in Africa. Is it true or false?
It's false. I think you can find rhinos elsewhere apart from Africa.
So Gertrude, Tumiso, you guys are saying it's false.
Yes.
Well, actually, you're right. Because there are 5 species of rhinos, 3 which are native to Asia, and 2 which are native to Africa. So you guys are right. All right, another question. Again, true or false? Kenya has lost 70% of wildlife in the last 40 years. Is it true or false?
I think it's true. Basing on
it's
this.
True.
Yes.
Yeah, the answer is it's true. But the good news is last year, Kenya reported 0 cases of rhino poaching and elephants poaching. And of course, that is NRT and in most of the conservancies in the country. So I think it's good news. And that's one of the steps. So that's one of the gaps then community conservancies can bridge in taking care of wildlife and of course, the Kenya's heritage. But of course, we had in 2012, more than 100 elephants were poached. And at least we can see from 2020 that we've had 0 cases of poaching elephants and rhinos. Are we good?
Yeah, we're good. Actually,
we'll move on to the next question.
Yeah. No, I remembered something that Tumiso experienced. I read it from some of the articles that she experienced the ivory bunny that was taking part.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know how she felt about it. I can't wait to have her back and share the experience.
Sure, we'll be actually waiting for her to share the experience with us when she comes back. I know it might be an issue with internet, even in Nairobi and everywhere. Sometimes you can have issues of internet, but she will be back. Okay, Tumiso,
Thank
karibu.
you.
We lost you for a minute, and there was a question about Kenya has lost 70% of its wildlife in the last 40 years. Would you say true or false?
Yeah, I think it's true. It's true.
Yeah, true. But the good news is that we had no cases of poaching last year. Rhinos and elephants. Conservancies are taking action or standing up for Kenya and for our wildlife. Gertrude was asking a question about that before we move on to the next question.
Okay.
Tumiso, I wanted to, I saw that the article you wrote, it was, you said that you experienced the ivory burning.
Yeah, I did.
The ivory, I wanted to know how you felt. How was it? How did you, what were in your thoughts?
Well, I was really sad that we do this to the elephants and the rhinos because I think it makes no sense to do this to them. There's so many other ways to make jewelry and stuff like that. We don't have to kill animals to do it. So I just really felt like it's unnecessary when people poach. It's very irritating. I felt anger and sadness.
Okay. Tumiso.
Yeah?
We can take this time and interact a little. I had several questions for you.
Okay.
So tell me, how did you get to be so passionate about conservation and wildlife?
Well, are you asking how I did it or why I'm doing it?
What was the reason? What was the motivation? Why are you so passionate about conservation?
Well, I feel like animals' lives matter just as much as humans' lives do. And I really wanted people to know that we all have to work together because not a lot of people are passionate about wildlife conservation, which we should because Kenya is our country.
Yes, Kenya is truly our country and we love that. And I hope we'll be able to see a lot of change, especially among the youths. So you wrote an article recently to The Nation, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's called "We, the Youth, Must Protect the Environment, No One Else Will." So tell me why you wanted to write the article. What was the reason behind you writing the article? What was the motivation?
Well, I really wanted people, like I said previously, to know that we have to come together for this all to work because it won't just take one person to change how Kenya is and how Africa is. And it won't just take 2 people, it won't take 3 people. We need a whole nation to do this. So I just wanted to help spread the word. And that's really the main reason why I did it.
Yeah, and you know what most people, I'm so sure most Kenyans are not aware of is that Kenya is among the leading countries in conservation of wildlife. If you look at most countries, it's among the leading countries. We are so motivated in conservation, and I'm glad that majority of the people are now absorbing it and accepting the conservation. So, like you said, we really need to do something about Kenya. We really need to do a lot in conservation. So you after the article you talked about a trip you took to Laikipia, right? So tell me your experiences. What did you experience in Laikipia? What was it like to be in a new environment?
Well, I had a lot of fun when I visited Laikipia. I met local communities who are benefiting from conservation efforts. I learned that we all have a role to play to care for Kenya. My dream, like my personal dream, and I know it's a bit weird or unrealistic, but
still a dream.
It's still a dream.
Yes.
I want Kenya to be the real Wakanda, or even if it's the whole of East Africa, or heck, the whole of Africa. Wow. I want it to be like Wakanda, where tech, nature, and resources come together to form beautiful harmony.
That is lovely. That reminds me that MMWCA is working on a place called Pardamat Conservation Area.
Mhm.
They're promoting coexistence between animals, the wildlife, and human beings and
Yeah.
livestock all at the same time, so that no one will suffer. At the same time, the communities will benefit from it. So I think the dream of having our kind of country might be really, really great, and it's a nice opportunity. So now
Okay.
that we are young people, what do you want kids in Nairobi to do so that they may care for Kenya or be
I
involved in
want,
conservation?
well, what I think is what they need to do is that they should read, learn, educate themselves. I personally like to follow Trees for Girls on Instagram and also Wildlife Direct, and I have learned a lot from them. I also think we
Yeah.
should plant more trees to make Kenya look much more beautiful.
Yes, that is lovely. I know that with young people involved, the more they know, like you said, educating and learning, the more they involve, the more the attitude changes. Because
Yeah.
I saw that you wrote also in the article that the more you get involved, the more they see these animals, the more we get to be involved with conservation, the more we'll
Yeah.
learn about them. Because most people will be like, acha niachane nayo juu hata hawajaiona this animal. So
Yeah.
I actually feel that that we should do something about it.
Yeah.
So
There's still a lot I want to know about conservation. So I have some questions for you, Gertrude.
yes, go ahead.
Okay, a lot of people, and I know personal friends, who look at the animals on Conservancy land and think you're so lucky to have that experience. What is it really like growing up in a Conservancy?
It's not lucky per se, I can say that, but we were born. After we were born, we found that our parents were taking care of these lands.
Yeah.
They set it aside for conservation. Our forefathers did the same, you know. So it is really beautiful, and it is really encouraging that those people who were there before, they saw it was wise for us to leave this land for conservation, and it's for us to keep on doing the same, and so much better than that. It's so lovely, it's so interesting, and I won't, it's a golden opportunity to be in a conservancy. We wake up, we don't have alarm clocks on our sides, we have birds chirping in the morning, you
That's
hear
so
a lion
cool.
roar from a distance, you hear the elephants cross to your land.
Is that not
lovely.
scary when you hear the lion roaring in the morning?
Scary. Not really. Maybe if you're close to it, because a lion's roar is very loud. You can hear it from a very long distance. So it will be more scary if you're close to it. But I think people have learned to live with the animals.
Yeah.
They have the indigenous knowledge. They know how to tolerate them. So yeah, it's lovely. By the way, it's a golden opportunity, and I won't take it for granted. That's why we stand for conservation.
Oh, that's so cool. So what is it like? Like, what does school look like for young people living in Conservancies?
School is normal, like any other part of the country. It's normal teachers, the normal curriculum, the everything is very normal, and we go to school and do the same things, the same activities that everyone else do. But the difference comes in when we have to walk for long distances so that we may get to school, and then you can see the wild animals on your way, especially the ones which are not so wild, the lion, no, the giraffes, the zebras, the wild beasts. You can see them, and then come back home. That is the only difference. We don't experience traffic jams, we don't experience crowding and everything, but school is normal and everything is normal.
Yeah, I guess that makes sense, because people assume that when you live in a conservancy, life would be so different from living in like Nairobi, when I don't think that's really true, because to them that's like normal, you get. So school would be normal school, but we're all still Kenya. So I have another question.
Go ahead.
For you, what was it like growing up as a girl in Naboisho Conservancy?
At first, it was tough because culture was dominating everything. You know, I'm a girl, so I had several challenges.
Yeah.
Not everyone was encouraging you to go to school at that time. I had several marriage proposals. I think I will be a mother of 4 or 5 right now, you know. And I think it was challenging, but I had to fight my way. I had to really be educated. Thanks to my mother who stood with me. She was so motivating, and she really wanted education for all of us. So it was challenging, but I got over it, and I'm here now, and I really appreciate the decisions that we make. So, but it's evolving. Ladies are now getting educated, and I'm happy to see more ladies who are educated. So we're getting somewhere.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So for a young person living in a conservancy, what does the future look like?
I see improved livelihoods. I see people getting more job opportunities. I see many young people getting educated. We have vocational training programs that are ongoing, especially here around. So we're giving the young people, or the people who are interested with education, they're being given a chance. So I'm sure that in future we'll have more educated people than we have now. We are somewhere compared to before, but we are aspiring to have more numbers in future. We have bursaries allocation for the young people. We have scholarship opportunities. We have so many benefits. We have health centers that are coming up to help the people. You know, previously we used to go all the way to Narok, and right now we can be treated here. In case of an emergency, you have something. So
Yeah.
we have a promising future, and there's a promising future. We'll have improved livelihoods in future.
Okay.
Yeah. So so you, Tumiso, you've motivated so many people, me personally included. I don't think I've ever written an article before, and it's so nice to see fellow young people who are involved in conservation.
Yeah.
So what do you want to do? What do you want to be when you grow up?
Okay, I want to do many things. I want to be a model because I've been told that I would be good for it, and I actually think I would. I also want to be an actress and a scriptwriter, and I also want to be an influencer on social media and a wildlife conservationist, which I kind of already am.
Yes.
And then I also want to be, what else? I know there's so many other things I want to be, but those are like the main things I want to be right now. But I'm not so sure about what I really want to be, but you seem to have already made a decision. Why did you decide to work in conservation?
Majorly because every life matters. Wildlife matters too, and it's reached a point I saw that we need to do something about it. We need to give these animals a voice. We need to stand with them so that even if it's not because of our own benefits, it's because of our future generations. Mimi siwezi taka mtoto wangu akikuja akose rhino ama our grandchildren wakuja wakose kuona elephants, wakuanga wameambiwa kulikuanga na mnyama fulani anakaa hivi ako na trunk.
They'll be like dinosaurs to them.
Exactly. You see, now you get my point. Yeah. I don't want it to be stories. I want them to experience this, and I want
for
them
themselves.
Exactly. So that we may also give them a platform. As in, we are setting the standards. We'll set the standards to be. By the way, you have to conserve this. This is important. So we keep the legacy. We keep it going. Yeah.
Okay, so when you were growing up in Namara, what did you know about community conservancies?
I didn't know much actually until I asked. That was after I learned that I was getting bursaries for my school fees from the conservancies. My mother was receiving the bursaries from the conservancies. So I got the interest from there. Like, why are you getting these bursaries? Why are you giving? So that's how she explained how it really works, and I saw how influential it is and how many people are benefiting from it. It was a very great help. So it really supported me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's contrary to what most people would think, because most people would think that once you're born in a conservancy, you know everything about everything. Like, you know all about every single animal that there ever was. And I'm like, that doesn't really make sense, but okay.
Exactly. No, people are, I can say, I don't want to use arrogance or ignorance, but these things utajua ukiuliza, unaona. Most of the things, if you just assume that, oh, my parents are getting money from something,
Yeah.
That's why I feel like our parents need to instill this and let their children know much about it. So what you saw in Laikipia and whatever you experienced there, it's very true. The only difference is people might mistake that we or the community conservancies grab or take away land from the owners. But what I want them to know today, especially for those who are not aware, is that these community conservancies, the land owners are the ones forming these community conservancies. They are the ones who are willingly setting aside this land so that it may be used for conservation purposes.
Yeah.
And this is because they are getting benefits in return. And for the sake of the wildlife, for the sake of the future of the wildlife, they are really dedicated to protecting this wildlife. So yeah, it's that's how it is. Benefits are gotten. We have healthcare services, we have education, everything that I've mentioned. Yeah, so that is majorly it. So what you saw and what you experienced in Laikipia, it was true. Yes, it was true.
Yeah. So how do you say that conservancies have impacted women's lives rather, in the Mara community?
Voices are being heard, the voices of the women. They have their own circles. We have women who are taking leadership opportunities. They're taking male dominated jobs. They're all economically empowered and socially empowered. So to crown it all, with the women's voices are widely heard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Gertrude, I've learned a lot from you. So thank you so much.
You're welcome. Come visit me in the Mara. I'll show you around freely. We forgot about Emmanuel. Emmanuel, are you still with us?
That's such a great conversation. Of course, I was moved by how you guys are talking about community conservancies and, of course, the benefits that's so good of you, Gertrude and Tumiso. Pongezi sana. And of course, from the comments, I can see some comments coming from people. They're saying great conversation between Tumiso and Gertrude. Pongezi sana on community conservancies. And just to lament on maybe what Gertrude has said is that landowners set aside their land for conservation, and the number of benefits that they get, apart from the lease payment that they get on a monthly basis, they also, they get the job opportunities, they get the scholarships, like for example, the Mara Vocational Training Program. They have so many benefits that come with it. So that land is just set aside for conservation, and they have proper and good ways of managing that land in terms of grazing patterns, in terms of where they can set up their tourist facilities, in terms of, so it's a system that is well managed, and for sure it's changing livelihoods of the communities living around the conservancy. So thank you so much, and that was great discussion. Of course, I've learned from you so very much. So asanteni-san, and of course for people who are watching, you can actually send us your questions so that people can get to understand what we talk about. Let's take action and to care for Kenya. Question to Gertrude: what benefits do you or youth gain from MMWCA? That's Dr. Arinja Mace, actually. What are some of the benefits that the youth get, particularly from MMWCA, that's Maasai Mara Wildlife Conservancies Association? Over to you, Gertrude.
Yes, we have a lot of opportunities for the young people. We have bursaries that are handed over to the young people, supporting their their school fees and everything. We have vocational programs that are ongoing. We have several schools that the MMWCA has partnered with, and they're now offering scholarship opportunities for these young people so that they may all get educated. We have job opportunities. Personally, I'm here as a young person. I'm an intern, and it's a nice opportunity for us young people. We have lots and lots of opportunities, especially even for the young women, the beadwork and everything, and crafting and job opportunities, employment opportunities. Gender is now being so balanced. So yeah, those are some of the benefits that we're getting, especially from MMWCA and conservancies in general.
Asante sana Gertrude. I can see that time is not on our side. Asante Wanjiko Nyasaka, she's saying good examples on community benefits and examples from Gertrude on conservation to the community. That is actually Pongezi Gertrude for that. Asante, time is not on our side. And since MMWCA started the Mara Vocational Training Program, we've had at least 1,641 young people who've benefited from the program, which is the Mara Vocational Training Program.
Yeah.
So just before we end up, because time is not on our side, can we go to the next quiz? And of course, people who are listening and watching, you can also take part in this, the true and false. Let's find out how much you know about conservation and wildlife. That is over to you, Tumiso and Gertrude. Are you guys ready?
Very
Yeah.
Okay, so let's do this. All right, this is true or false. Okay. Good. Women are allowed to own land in Maasai Mara. Is it true or false?
Very true. Very true.
You seem to be in agreement.
Yes.
That is true. 300 women landowners in the Mara, and 8 conservancies are managed by women. That's in Kenya. So it's true that women can own land in the Mara.
Yay for the ladies.
The next question. So male bees do not have a stinger and cannot sting you.
True. That's true. That's true.
True.
That's true.
Tumiso seems to be very sure about this.
Yeah. I remember I watched a documentary, rather a TikTok, of about how male bees are called drones and they don't have stingers. It's only the female bees who have stingers. So yeah.
Wow, true, that's for sure. I mean, male bees are called drones, like what you said, Tumiso, and their only job is to mate with unfertilized queen bees, and they die immediately after mating. Yeah. Bees are so important to a healthy ecosystem, so we should not kill them at all.
Yes,
all right. And of course, we have some of the best honey in the Mara. You know, we have the beekeeping projects in the Mara. Okay, maybe one more question.
Yep.
An average ranger in a conservancy is responsible for patrolling an area of 1,000 hectares. True or false?
False.
False. I'm not really sure about that, but that looks like a huge...
that's a lot for one person.
That's a lot for one person.
You guys are right. It's false because Kenya Wildlife Conservancies Association reports that an average area that a ranger patrols is actually about 2,700 hectares. That is about 27 square kilometers. And most of the time they do it on foot. So actually our rangers are doing such a great job all over the country. Colombia, Hongera. Yes. Last question. Community conservancies only benefit those who live there. True or false?
False.
That's false.
Very false.
Very false. To be very sure about this, right?
Very.
That's so
exactly.
False.
Conservancies benefit all Kenyans. Okay, they protect up to 65% of wildlife and support livelihoods of over 5 million people. 1 in every 12 jobs in Kenya is linked to wildlife, and that's through tourism. So actually, it's not only those communities live around conservancies that will benefit from community conservancies. So well done, everyone. You guys have done so good. Pongezi sana. Maybe I can take one more comment before I can action everyone to say that, yes, I'll stand to be counted and care for Kenya. John Makaleku comments that this is so passionate and encouraging to see this happening. So pongezi to everyone.
Ashkuru. Thank you.
So yeah, we've seen a lot of questions and comments coming in. Asante sana. James Lewarani comments that plant a tree to help wildlife get the best home, food, it's a great thing. Take your time actually and do this, like planting trees and all that. So he's saying, I think it's a great initiative to see people, young people coming together and saying, let's do this for wildlife. Asante sana. Comment from Vivian V. She says, the main tourist attraction in Kenya is wildlife. If we fail to conserve it, Kenya may have no tourists to attract in the future.
Exactly.
I think that's
That's
great.
true.
Asante sana, Vivian. We have a lot of comments and people talking to us from different parts of the country. Asante sana. We're just about to wrap up, but I'm seeing a lot of comments coming from people. Asante Vivian, Asante Lawrence, John Mark, Asante. We can see so many people commenting online. Asante sana. It's all about what can we do to care for Kenya. So over to you, Gertrude and Tumiso, and to everyone else who is watching and listening to us this evening. I'm actually tasking you guys. What are you going to do to care for Kenya? Maybe I'll start with Gertrude.
Yes, Emmanuel, thank you. I will stand to be counted. I like preaching the gospel of conservation to very many people. So I will be a voice. I will carry on the baton. I will protect this wildlife. And let's not do this for the sake of tourism only or for the sake of benefits only, but let's do this for the sake of the future generation. Let's protect these natural resources, wildlife and everything else, because it's all connected. So I will carry on the baton. I will stand to be counted. I will really be a voice to these animals and to the environment at large.
Wow, that's so beautiful, Gertrude. Asante sana. Tumiso, what is your take?
Wow, Gertrude was so deep, so nice, passionate. You can tell she thought about that one. Now, okay, so me, what I will do is, as Gertrude said, be the voice to the voiceless, because animals don't necessarily have a voice, so they can't say what they think. So we have to be the ones to speak for them. Also, another thing I would do, and I challenge all youth to do, is to spread awareness on social media, because I know you're all on social media. Don't pretend that I don't see you. If you can share your memes, you can share a post about wildlife and what's going on. So I think, that's what I want to do: spread awareness, make the word be heard around the world. So yeah.
Wow, that's so great. And thanks to everyone else. I can see everybody, we can see so many comments coming in. Asante sana. We invite you to do the same. More ideas on how we can actually take care or care for Kenya and wildlife. Asante sana. I see so many great ideas. Of course, you can actually share with us on nature.org/Tumiso, speak up, so that we can actually get to see the ideas that we have on what we can do to care for Kenya. Asante sana, that was so lovely. Tumiso and Gertrude, that was good to have you guys have a good conversation. And from us here at Basecamp Maasai Mara Wildlife Conservancy Association, the USAID, they've been supporting us all through. They've made this possible. USAID, TNC, others, the Nature Conservancy, MMWCA, and to all other partners who've made this possible. Asanteni sana na Mungu awabariki. Let's all stand to be counted and to care for Kenya. So for myself and to everyone else who've made this possible, Mungu awabariki, and let's stand to be counted. Asante sana.
Yeah.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you so much. Yes. Bye.
Bye.